I'm trying to make a YouTube video, but I don't know what to talk about. What do I think about on a daily basis? I think about politics and the news, which is very sad now that I say it out loud. It's so weird because the news is meant to inform you about what is going on in the world, what is going on where you live, and current affairs, and blah blah blah. And it does that, but it also depresses the crap out of you. Sorry, I'm moving the chair. Clearly, we're put in a position where we're privileged enough to read the news and current affairs and politics so that we can make a difference. But then you don't get you don't get it until for days and days and days and days, and you wake up and you hear bad news or bad things or bad accidents, and just like, wow, there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, Zoya. But how do you go about navigating in this world and like just how do you keep up with the news? How do you keep up enough so that you know what's going on so that you can make a change in the world? But then at the same time, how do you not get depressed, and how do you keep in control of your mental health? How, like, is this video meant to come to a solution? Because I ain't got none. The longest government shutdown in US history. So depressing that people who live from paycheck to paycheck were suffering that way, and they had to go through that, and they still had to show up for work. You read the news or you're on Twitter or whatever, and you find out there's amazing people in the world, people who'd give free taxi rides and people who'd give free food out of their restaurants, and just people that would help people for no reason but just to help them. I mean, that's one thing that's so great about just keeping up to date, is just finding out there's just so many amazing people in the world that just are here to help people. Apart from that, it is very depressing. But then you have like amazing moments like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez becoming the youngest woman in Congress to serve. That's a great reason to keep up to date with politics and the news. The first two Muslim women in Congress, Rashida and Ilhan Omar. That's pretty great. Technically, if you read the news or you do not read the news, it doesn't actually make a difference in your life. Nothing changes in your life because you pick up a newspaper or you don't. But that's exactly why you should read the news or listen to the news or watch the news, because you find out about what's happening in other people's lives around the world, right? You care for people that you don't even know. You have more empathy because you read the news. If you only found out once about the situation in Palestine and that's it, you never ever heard anything about Palestine ever again, after that time that you found out, you would stop caring. Even though we're in the UK, London, wherever you are, we're hearing about the stuff that goes on in Palestine. That's what makes us keep caring, even though we may not be Palestinian, even though we may not live in Palestine, even though we may never be in the situation that the Palestinian people are suffering. The reason we care about it is because we are constantly being informed about the horrific things that happen to Palestinian people living in Palestine. And we should care, because how are you going to make a change if you don't care? So read the news because it helps foster empathy inside of us. Secondly, and probably mentioned this like a million times in this video, but we should all but we should all really actually have the intention to impact this world for the better, or change the world for the better, or at least impact people positively. Not even like a bunch of people, just try to impact people that we meet on a daily basis positively. You can't do that unless you know what is wrong in their lives. That's the only way you'll have conversations about, different things in the news, and then you'll come up with solutions. And if you don't come up with it, at least it's in a conversation, the other person could come up with those solutions. I don't know if that sentence made a lot of sense, but in my head it did. But if you want to change the world for the better, you have to know what's going on in the world, right? You can't fix the problem unless you know what the problem is. So keep reading the news, guys, even though it's depressing. But seriously, if it does depress you a lot, take a break. Take a break. Read about the good. Here's an idea. Someone should come up with something called like the good news. Like that would be great. Like just a newspaper called the good news, daily good news on it. Just, and like, you know, the part of the Metro paper that has the train crashes. That's one of the favorite parts of the newspaper to read. Just a whole paper of that, not just crushes, but good news. That would be great, because there's so many good things going on on a daily basis. Hey, don't forget me when you make that idea, okay? Come into reality. Do not forget me, please. At the end of the day, for me at least, not reading news just kind of symbolizes that you don't care about the people around you. Drop a comment. Why do you read the news? Why do you not read the news? I would love to know, okay?